Welcome to Modern Homestead, Alaska. I am Jessica, and today we are going on a massive grocery stock up food haul. Yes, we're here in Anchorage, Alaska. We are at Costco, but this shopping haul isn't going to be like any of the others. This is part of that hand up program that we have through the local food bank. I am teaching folks in my local community how to stock a pantry, and by generous donations of many others, we are actually giving away everything that we purchase, and everything that we teach will head home with those who attend the class. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Let's head in to our local Costco. Might as well start right here. Good morning. As we head in here, as always, I have a very detailed shopping list, and this one's more important than the rest, only because it's not my money. I'm actually shopping with money that came from generous donations to our local food bank, and they have entrusted me with that to not only teach this class, but to also provide as many meals or starter pantries, if you will, for as many families as I possibly can in our community. If you'd like to be part of the donations, I will leave links to our local food bank and other ways that you can donate so that channels and videos like this can continue doing what we're doing. So I have my detailed list, and as always, I have compared prices between Costco and Walmart. And the way that I do that is I take Walmart's list and then I come to Costco, because I don't have a way of actually looking up what is going to be the cheapest. I do know for a fact our bulk items are going to be cheaper, and because I'm also teaching folks how to properly store these with Mylar bags and long-term storage, we're doing that in class, it's going to be a good idea for me this time to get a big bulk bag of rice. I'm feeding between 30 and 50 families, so I am gonna get the 50-pound bag of rice. They don't have the price up, so I'll have to let you know what that is. However, the 25-pound of long grain white rice, which is the most popular rice, so we want to start right there, is $13.99. So I know that it can't be more than, call it 14, call it $28. It can't be more than $28 for the 50 pound bag. So we'll start right here. The first section that I teach is grains. So that would be rice, oats, pasta, flour, cornmeal, quinoa, barley, wheat berries, ramen noodles, anything along those lines. I have chosen 4 things from this section for that starter pantry, and the first thing is rice. Let me load it up. Oats, I know that they're in a little bit of a different section, so while we're all the way back here, let's pop over and see if we can't find flour and the pasta. Here we go with flour. I'll see if that can fit in the budget. If not, we'll divide out our, well, would you look at that. The organic unbleached flour, it's 2 10 pounds, and it's $17.89. I have budgeted $1 a pound, and that is coming in at a whopping 0.895 cents, so 90 cents a pound. It comes in under our budget, and so we're gonna go ahead and grab 50 pounds, so 25 of these packs. I did my math wrong, so I'm gonna do 12 of these. No, I'm gonna do 15 of these 2 packs, and that will do 30. Each person gets 1 bag of flour.
Do you need help?
Nope.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
So we jumped over here and we were looking at all of the pastas. Spaghetti is $1.23 a pound. I just think it's easiest to store instead of the big boxes of it. And The only other thing is these elbow macaronis are $1.29, so $1.30 a pound, and that's these 10-pound bags. That is cheaper than Walmart's macaroni, but I think I'll just go with the spaghetti noodles. Actually, this 10 pounds. Okay, we would still have to divide these out into 10 packages. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna buy the 30 packages of spaghetti at Walmart. We found a price on the rice, $24.89 for 50 pounds. Jumping quite quickly to section number 2, which is the protein section. This is where you're gonna find your meats, your fishes, your beans, your lentils, your split peas, your ham, your Spam, anything canned, anything frozen, anything dry that is a protein. Now, I keep getting peanut butter pushed into proteins, but fats and oils. We're gonna include peanut butter and fats and oils, so that might be something in your mind that you think is a protein. But I'm gonna put that with oils, which is seeds and nuts and fats and things like that. So in this section, we are looking for 50 pounds of beans. Let's figure out black or pinto. I think if they've got the pinto, we'll just go with whichever we can get, but it looks like the bean section is pretty limited here today. All right, we have 50 pounds of pinto beans for $28.69. That puts us at 60 cents a pound, and they do have them. We'll grab a bag of these. While I'm back in this section, I'm gonna jump to section 5, which is pantry staples. And then if you stick with me, I'll walk you through which each section is and what is in it. But we'll talk about them as we go, but I kind of have to jump around in order to not backtrack over and over through Costco. So one of the things on their pantry staples is I have sugar. We're doing 5 pounds per family times 30 families. And I see that the organic, good organic cane sugar is $58.99. That's $1.18 a pound. Because we save so much on beans, we can apply some of that to the sugar and do just a bit better quality. This was a question I got on the last time we stocked up for the food bank. Number one, I do what is cheapest, but I also go with what is best. And I don't care that these are people in need. If I can get organic for them for the same price as regular, I'm going to get organic for them. I'm not just going to buy the worst product possible because this person is going to the food bank. That just doesn't make any sense to me. When you donate, I think you donate in the best way that you can, whatever that looks like for you. And for me, it is going to be the organic sugar. I need 200 pounds of this, so 4 bags. Cart check-in. We are already at $503. The hand up program is not a hand out program. Yes, they're going to be taking home an entire starter pantry valued between $50 and $60 per family. But it is local community members like myself teaching skills that we have. Everything from gardening to budgeting, and I am the one that is teaching about pantries, shopping, and food storage. So that is my give back to our community. And then there are many other teachers that will be doing classes along the way. And this is not just for those who need help or food assistance. It is for anyone in our community that wants to learn these skills and techniques. So make sure you're following our local food banks Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel, and I am going to be teaching a multitude of classes there. If you'd like to come and meet me, I'll let you know how. Uh-oh, we found something cheaper than it is at Walmart right now. Let me double check. I'm gonna have to grab another cart because I think we're going to be getting the fruit and the vegetables here for sure. Let me compare prices to what I can get them at Walmart for. And maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong on the vegetables. They're $1.03 per can here at Costco. They are 98 cents at Walmart. However, the canned fruit is $2.08 at Walmart, and we have the price here at Costco at $1.20. So let's see what all it looks like. They just have pears. Oh, and they have pineapple. So we can do half and half on those. So 1 can of each per family. I'm gonna finish looking. This cart is too heavy, but we'll come back and we'll grab the fruit and vegetable in just a second. I want to check the price of canned meats and some other things while we wander, but at least we found one better deal, saving us some money. We're gonna do 50 pounds of the old-fashioned oatmeal at $8.69. That's 2 5-pounds, so each box is 10 pounds. We need 5 of these. So we've tackled what we can with the grains, and we're gonna head and get another cart. We have a couple more things that we wandered around, and we figured out the best price is here at Costco. So the reason I chose the Costco Business Center today is not only is it quieter, it's easier to film in here because there's a lot less people. It also oftentimes will have like individual packaged things or bulk items that I can't get at regular Costco, and that helps me out a ton. All right, another cart. All right, let's go right here. This is one of my favorite items as a child, and it is one of Caleb's favorite items still to this day, and it is applesauce. And when we go to the fruit and vegetable, sorry, let me get out of your way. The fruit and vegetable section for stocking, because a mom, anyone, like, you're out of everything, you can just grab one of these out of the pantry. They work really, really well. The applesauces at Walmart for 47 ounces are $4.28, and they are $2.78 a piece here at Costco. So that is a huge savings, and it's also still 47 ounces, so it's same size. Not quite half the price, but that's a big saving. Over at about $2, just under $2 per jar. That's good. So let's grab. I had one of those per family. So let's grab. Try to get as close to 30 as we can. Back in section 2, the proteins, I looked it up, and the 4-pack of chicken, canned chicken, is $12.32 at Walmart. Well, they're $2.73 a piece here at Costco, so $16.39, but that's a 6-pack. I broke it down and compared. These are cheaper, but the tuna is actually cheaper at Walmart than it is here at Costco. So we'll grab 2 cans of chicken per family, and 2 cans of tuna per family, and then that will be, so we need 60 of these, so I need 10 times $16.30. So we're gonna do 1 pound of salt per family. I think they only recommend that you store 8 pounds of salt per person, or 6 pounds, something like that, per year for using throughout your food and your seasonings and those sort of things. These are 3-pound boxes for $6.19. Now, normally This is something that you can stock up. Just buy one for yourself. You could hit that stocked level really, really quickly. But I'm going to teach them how to store it long term, and that is something you do not want to use an oxygen absorber when it comes to salt or sugar. We're going to work through that at the food bank, and so you do want to grab salt in a way that they have to store it individually, and I'll show you all of that in the next video as we teach the class. All right, the next thing that is cheaper here at Costco than it is at Walmart. Now, I looked up dry milk, canned milk, all of the different things. And keep in mind as we're going through here, as I'm dividing these things out per family, that this is something you can go to Walmart and just buy 1 can, 2 cans as you're doing your regular shopping trip, or you can bulk as you go. So 2 cans of evaporated milk per family, $1.12 a piece, $13.49 for 12 of them. We need 60, as close as we can get to 60. Oh my goodness, my brain, I was like counting it over and over and over again. Oh, sometimes I go so crazy because everything's like 10 or an 8 or whatever. 12 times 5 is 60. So 5 of those at $13.49 a piece equals 2 per family, which is 60. Jeez, Jessica, do some basic math here. I'm gonna interject on myself really quick here. Are any of you interested in how I keep all of this organized while I'm in the store, while I'm filming, while all of these things? Well, I have a great big bag here, and in it is my day planner. I have highlighters and pens and pencils and everything that I could need, from coupons, and I even have like a charger for my phone. I do all my math, and then I just mark everything off. Okay, ignore my chicken scratch. But what I'll do is decide how many of each thing I want. So the canned milk here, I highlight it, and then $67.45, so I'm keeping track of the price as we go along. I was going back and forth on the fruit here, and I think, excuse the angle, 208 at Walmart for the Walmart brand of canned fruit. $1.19, so $1.20, $1.19.9, $1.20. The pineapple is $1.97. I can save a ton by doing 2 cans of the pears per family. What I have a hard time with is, what if someone's allergic or whatever? So I think I'll do only 1 pineapple for anyone that maybe has an allergy. I would assume the allergy to pineapple would be more likely. I don't know. Let's look over here. Let's see what the mandarins are. It makes it very difficult because it's not for my house. If it was for my house, I would just do all the mandarins, 98 cents. But they are small, 12 pack at 11 ounces. No matter how I do this, I need 8 because 7 point something. I'm going to do 7 of the pears and 1 of the mandarin oranges, and anyone that has an issue with pears can do the mandarin oranges. Final decision, sticking with it. 7 times $9.59. Oh my gosh, y'all, they got jackfruit in brine. If you know, you know, $12.89. We got some of these in Arizona and took them to the private school that I worked at, and the kids got to cut them open, and they're like greasy and oily, and then the fruits are in there. But they use this as a substitute in other types of cuisine, and they'll make like pulled pork-esque type things and all sorts of stuff out of it. I was just fascinated to see that there. And then because it is the business Costco, they have tons of number 10 cans of things in here. So pineapple tidbits, the huge things of mandarin oranges, huge things of pineapples. But I was just shocked when I saw the jackfruit, and I was like, oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's grab 1 of the mandarin oranges, 12 pack, $13. Part 2 check-in. We're doing pretty good. Salt, milk, some fruits, and some canned meat. I think we did it. I think we actually tackled our Costco shopping list. I even compared the prices of peanut butter. So here's the sections. Let me just pause for a second before we check out and head to Walmart. Number 1 is grains. So that is going to be anything: rice, oats, pasta, flour, cornmeal, quinoa, barley, wheat berries, ramen, anything that is in the grain family. Oftentimes they're going to try and put things like dried potatoes or things like that in there. I don't include any of that in mine. Section 2 for me is straight proteins. It does actually need to be more protein than anything else. So that is fish, meat, beans, lentils, peas, Spam, any of your canned meats. If you're stocking in your freezer, so if you're starting this pantry, use your freezer space, use the dry pantry, use all of that. We're not going to be using any freezer space because I'm not sure what people are doing and how they're taking that home. So it's not conducive to what we're doing in this video, but keep that in mind when you're stocking that pantry, because we have rotating pantries and we build up and we work our meals through these. Next section, section 3 for me, is fruits and veggies. This is where I include the potatoes. You can call it a starch, you can call it whatever you want, but it technically belongs in the fruit and vegetables section. Canned fruits and vegetables like green beans, peas, corn, carrots, even potatoes are canned, tomatoes, anything along those lines. As well as frozen, freeze-dried, dried. You can get fruits and vegetables a billion different ways. Some other things: applesauce, peaches, pears, diced fruit, freeze-dried, dried fruit, raisins, craisins, anything along those lines I would include in the fruits and vegetables. And I would stock up if I was doing frozen veggies. I would get them at Walmart. Walmart has the best price. I've checked everywhere a multitude of times. Plus they come in usable sizes. Section 4, section 4, I know I'm talking quickly so that we can get out of here and move on with the video, is fats and oils. This is where it's going to be everything from your seed and your nut oils to shortening butter, ghee, peanut butter. You would add nuts and seeds here, anything that is truly a fat and oil, your lards, we do tallow, all of those different things. All right, section 5 is pantry staples. This would be sweeteners. So sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, sucanat, all of the different sugars that you can imagine, on down to honeys, maple syrups, anything along those lines. Seasoning and spices. So anything that's in that section, your cinnamon, your onion powder, garlic powder, salts, all the different things. Yeast and leavening agent, so baking powder, cornstarch, all those things. I do vinegar in this section, cocoa powders, all of that is where we're gonna put pantry staples. Those are the things that you kind of can't make like pancakes without a leavening agent. You can't make you can make crackers, but not like a fluffy bread without yeast or something along those lines. They're the things that we often forget when people start first stocking up their pantries and they think, oh, it's just rice and beans. I'm just gonna stock rice and beans. Well, what do you do now? You've already got all the rice and beans. How do you fill in the additional areas? And then additionals is the section I call it. This is where we're gonna throw powdered milk, soup mixes, bouillon, broths, coffee, teas, drink mixes, anything that turns that meal into kind of something different. But maybe it's something that you could live without, but it would be much better if you had it. Especially things like the soup mixes, the canned milk, the dry milk. Oftentimes if you're having to grab from the pantry, there's been some sort of emergency, you're eating out of your pantry, you're not buying fresh milk. Hey, you just want to make a box of macaroni and cheese for your kids, need some milk, you can open some canned milk, you can mix up some powder milk. You can do all those different things with the broths and the bouillons. You can simply, from what I've purchased here today, canned chicken along with some veggies, some rice or some pasta of some sort, and some broth and some bouillon, a couple of spices, those sort of things. You can make a quick soup, a homemade yeast spread. You can feed your family pretty hearty from just things that are stored in your pantry. So those are the 6 sections we shop from. Either way. I have no idea what I've been recording for the last 9 minutes while we load up this truck, but I am sweating. Oh my gosh, 66 degrees here. Whoo! That's probably a lie. Once I start driving, my truck's not sitting in the sun. It is gonna cool it down, but man, we finally hit the 60s just this week, the very last week of May. Price check-in. We have no tax in Anchorage. $1,062.63. Now, big ticket items that we're gonna head to Walmart right now for is gonna be things like oil. I did check the price in there. We've got to get some more protein, all of those bits and pieces, and we have just under $1,000 left in our budget. So. It is always windy in town. We have made it to Walmart here in Wasilla, and I went and sat in the truck, ran the rest of our list and the prices here at the Walmart that we're going to be in. They came in at $999. So we got to find some savings someplace. I'm thinking we can cut the potatoes. That would save us about $40. And then if I don't do the expensive oils, I do a few that are a little bit less, we can maybe save a little bit of money right there. And normally I have extra in my budget when I'm heading out to do these things, but this month I just don't have the extra because we are doing some projects at our house. We've ordered materials. The material people that are going to deliver when they can are going to expect payment. So I can't be tapping into the extra that I just do not have. So we are going to have to do our due diligence and very best that we can. It's got to come in under that $999 because we've already spent $1,060. We only have a $2,000 budget, so stick with me here. Let's see if we can come in and not have to tap into any extra reserves that I have. We'll do our best. But look at the price of those. That is crazy. $31.67. Jiminy Christmas. And they don't even look good. Goodness. And this is why I try and buy local when I can. But literally my flowers at the house, they've been in and out, wind beat, the whole 9 yards. They look better than those, so no wonder there's so many of those left. Here we go. All right, we're gonna start right here at the peanut butter. We need 30 of these. They are $4.58. I'm going to do 20 creamy, and if they have 15 of the crunchy. Next item is the 4 packs of tuna. So two individual cans per family. This would be, we'll see how many we can get. We might have to substitute, obviously. easily. So that is 48. We can bump over here, 23.6 cents an ounce, $1.18, and we'll get the rest here. 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. We are gonna do 30 at $2.44 on the bouillon. We're gonna do both chicken and beef. So I have to put down the camera. In the same section as bouillon, as well as all of that stuff, I had the onion soup mix, and I'm gonna go with the Great Value because it's $1.27. We can save $1 a piece. I had looked up the Lipton, but if I can do this, this is going to extend meals, give people something extra. We'll see how many I can get in this one, and we may have to switch. 2, 4, 6. So spaghetti is $1.23. This is going to be the easiest to have in the kits, so we'll get 1 pound of pasta. $1.24. Spices have increased in price exponentially, but they are so required to turn things into meals. So we're going to get a variety and let people pick what they want to take home. I wanted to do 2 per person. We may swing back by here and grab an additional 30, but we'll start with 30, see where we're at, what we can get the oils for. That is going to be the biggest price determiner. 4, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 15. That puts us at 20 spices so far. Let's see if we can find the cinnamon. If we can, the cinnamon's supposed to be the same price. Oops, next aisle. I think cinnamon's a lot more useful and more people might grab that. So we'll try that first. There. Ground cinnamon's $1.64 versus the $1.24. Grab what we can. It's $1.34. $1.43. 10 cents off times 30. You can actually add up. So we're gonna start with some leavening agents. Let me move these aside. And okay, these for sure used for breads, all sorts of things. So we do want to do, we're gonna do 30 yeast and 30 baking powder if they have them. It looks like there's 20 per box, so I'll double check. I took some out, put it back there. I'll put it back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 on the fast rising. We'll do 15 on the active. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we'll grab this backpack. And then put the back. There's tons of yeast up there behind it. In fact, our Walmart is pretty packed. I haven't cleared the shelf on anything. And in fact, when I get close, I'll switch to a different brand or to a different item. We'll see how much baking powder we can get, because $2.48. If we run out of the Walmart ones, we'll just switch to something like baking soda. by inches. And they're like, what? I can just reach the back. Okay, so that is 15, so we'll do 15 and be 18. Cart check. We have to go get another cart. Of course we do. Why didn't we know that was going to happen? So what's left on our list is the canned vegetables, the potatoes possibly, and the oil, the biggest ticket. All right, let's try and grab a second cart really quick. Hopefully no one touches that one. We're right by the door though. Cart 2. Cart's fine. I guess no one wanted a giant cart of baking soda and baking powder. All right, let's go back there. Best price on canned veggies beating Costco and everywhere is Walmart, and it has to be these down the bottom that are 98 cents. Otherwise, $1.52, $2, so on, including peas. So I think we'll do peas, corn, and green beans. 2 cans per family, so 60 cans total. So I did 2 green beans, 2 corn, and 1 pea. We have made it to the oils. Okay, vegetable oil is $4.56, so we can do some of these. This is based on preference. I budgeted around $8. Why? Because I wanted to grab some coconut oils and maybe I saw an olive oil online that might be right in that. So what I want to stick away from are these. So I'm not looking for any sprays. I'm looking for bulk. I'm looking for things that you can fry in, things that you can bake with, things that you can cook with. I'm looking for the ghees, the oils, and those sort of things. And I want people to be able to have a choice. So I'm thinking if I do half in the $4 range, because someone might be like, no, I like canola oil, I like vegetable oil, whatever. And then someone might be like, oh no, I'm allergic to that, or I can't have that. And then if I can find, let me look for the Walmart olive oil. Okay, here it is. Here's one that's in the $7 range. I'm sorry, am I in your way? Okay. Here's one in the $8 range. This is an organic at $8.83. Let's do a few of those for our friends. Or we could go here, classic olive oil, $7.13, $7.34, right in that range. Okay, so let's do 15. Okay. 7 vegetable oil, 7 canola oil, and I think that'll bring our price down in half. And then that puts us at 14. We'll do the rest in some other cooking oils. And depending on how many families come, or if someone donates something like this to the pantry, then what can happen is people could have a couple of oil choices. When you're building out your pantry, I'd like you to have a couple of oil choices. Something maybe you're gonna fry, or throw in that cheap cake mix, something like that. But also something that you're gonna eat raw, a little more heart healthy. But judging by those prices, here's what I want you to do: the best you can for yourself and your family. Just do the best you can. I never had anything besides canola oil for the first 30 years of my life. So I think we're all gonna be all right. But just do the best that you can. But other items down here, like the ghee, you could get it all the way down at $9.86. You could make that yourself. $9.86. Tallow. Now we have our own tallow at home, so I wouldn't ever buy that. But $17 all the way down to $9. Coconut oil should not be liquid, but I was thinking some coconut oils. Look at, we can do these Luann ones for $6.22. Native organic coconut oil for $8.68. I think you can get coconut oil for a fairly decent price, at least that one there. All right, So let's just mix and match. That's 10. Let's do 5 more. 5 more of the photo. Okay, I want to grab, so that's 15. We got 15 more. I want to grab some of these coconuts. 2 of those. So there's 5. Oh, I see a good grapeseed oil up there in the $8 range. $7.14. I'll grab 5 of those. And then I'm gonna get 5 of these olives. I just saw the weirdest thing and I had to bring it back here. We're done. We rounded it out. We'll skip the potatoes. Well, maybe I'll drop by and check the price. Look at this. Finishing sugar, strawberry vanilla cake, cinnamon roll, chocolate hazelnut, salted caramel, zesty lemon, ranch. I've never seen those. Salted caramel, pink Himalayan salt, bacon. No, they're just out here doing the most. They're just doing the most with seasoning spices. And then another thing I would grab in that, like extracts. So vanilla. Ooh, they have cinnamon, salted caramel. I like lemon. I like almond. I do lots of that. I wouldn't buy pumpkin pie just because I don't know what I would use that in unless it was like a drink or something like that. Nice. But I would just go here, start out here, vanilla. I would probably go with this, the big one, for $3.12. Yeah. I probably, though, on my food stock up, my pantry would not buy these finishing sugars, but I'm so tempted to try that. I don't know why that's dropped. It was all packaging and it just looked amazing. There we go. Okay, let me find the potatoes. I gotta kick one cart, then drag this one and try to control both of them so the camera's got to go down. Oh, my other favorite thing. Why do I love pink so much? Always crunchy. That is adorable. Fancy sprinkles. Why do I love stuff like this so much? That's why we have a whole section of our pantry is devoted to things like that just make you feel good. And I am in the midway filming a video for you guys of a brand new baby in our family that I am taking gifts to. And while I'm here at Walmart, Cody threw a couple of things for the person, not Cody, on the list. I'm gonna grab that personal stuff and then I'm gonna try the potatoes and meet you guys at the checkout. I thought when I was looking it up, there was a family size pack for the $1. The family size packs are $3.46. These are not good deals. These do not go far. And had they had these at Costco, Costco is less per pack, but they only have the big ones. I would have done those. Potatoes are officially being skipped. I'll meet you at the checkout. So you can probably do the math, but Walmart limits the number of items that I can get at any time. I want you to drop a guess right now. How many transactions do you think this is going to take, and how many items does Walmart let me get per transaction? I will give you the answer in just a second. Cart and truck check-in. I get this comment every single time. You can't leave that stuff in the bed of your truck. Yes, I can, and I do, and it's never bothered me. I've never been worried about it, but I do park in the back of the parking lot, like away from other vehicles. So it's obvious if someone's grabbing something, and it's not just that they can like grab it really quick and it's sitting next to their vehicle and start loading into it. However, someone could obviously park next to it and do that same thing. But I do get, and I have lived in places where this was not possible, but this is very common. However, at the Anchorage Walmart, I did not like leaving stuff in that cart. 3 transactions, we came in over $800, but just shy of the $900. So we did nearly perfectly. Well, friends, everything that comes into the food bank has to be weighed. So food in, food out, and so that's what we're doing right now, is unloading everything before we even start the class onto a scale, and I will let you know exactly how much weight and food we brought this time. So the first pallet was 899 pounds, and now we're gonna grab another pallet and start on the inside of the truck. $1,300? 1,310 pounds of food total. So now we're gonna organize all of it and teach the class. So if you wanna be part of that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, be part of the channel, follow along. And I am so excited to show you exactly how we are gonna share this. It is going to feed 30 families a starter pantry. We have even gotten the storage buckets, the Mylar bags, the whole 9 yards. So join us in the next video and I'll show you what we taught here today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being you and being part of the channel, showing up time and time again. With that, I hope that you're blessed. I hope you have a beautiful week ahead of you, and I hope that you come back to see us in the next video. Bye for now.